Okay. All righty. So we are just so tickled to have everybody here. Thank you for waiting on me. Just really excited to have everyone with us tonight. And my name is Chris Reep. I'm from Springfield, Ohio, and I have my husband Jeff with me tonight. I'm just so tickled that we can do this together and share with you. And I thought I would just start off real quick and just tell my story. And it was actually about 26 years ago that a friend of mine from New Mexico, so when Jeff was coaching out there, came to my door one afternoon and she said, "Here, fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I just want to show it to you real quick." And so I was like, okay. And so I was really kind of skeptical a little bit, but I could read the words on the label and I could pronounce them. I could picture what was in the bottles. And I said, wow. Are you leaving? Okay. So I said, wow, this is amazing. So I'm going to just try these. And I was writing out my check. I'm going, I can't believe I'm doing this without even asking Jeff, but I don't know, it just made sense to me. So I did that. I told Rusty, I said, I want to get my Juice Plus for the best possible price. And so after I signed up, did all the paperwork, and I was like, wow, everybody could use this. And I just started sharing from there. And I'll tell a little bit more about that in a little bit, but wow, it was just amazing how Juice Plus changed our life. And so the rest of the story is, and Jeff is right now, he's the Director of Career Services at Cedarville University, and his background is college basketball. He coached for 22 years. So that's where we were when we met Rusty. And then I kind of wanted Jeff to tell the rest of his story.
Yeah, Chris just became really excited about it. She was, felt like she was feeling better, having more energy, that type of thing. And so I was recruiting at New Mexico State University, and I was on the road a lot. And obviously we were in New Mexico, so I didn't even really have a coat, winter coat. And I was recruiting a lot in Chicago and, Detroit and places like that. But I figured, well, I don't need a coat. I'm just going from the airport to the rental car, to the gym, back to the rental car, to the hotel, that type of thing. And so what was happening is I was, I'd get constantly throughout the winter, I'd get the little scratchy throat, and I might as well mark off, 7 days, and I was just going to have just a real bad head cold. And I've never been a big supplement person, but this did not have a supplement facts label. It had nutrition facts label on it. So for me, that made a big difference. And that's the main thing that I've seen in my life this far, is just, not getting sick, or if I do get a little head cold, a lot of times it's just a day or two and it's gone. And that's what another thing I really liked about the company is they didn't make big claims. I mean, it's food. That's what it is. It's only going to do for you what food will do for you. So let's say somebody has cholesterol problems. If it's nutrition related, then this might help. If it's not nutritional related, then this isn't going to help. It's basically food. So that's the big thing that I've seen, in my life.
So I was really kind of surprised, because he wasn't all about taking pills or anything like that. He said, you just need to eat good. And so that day when he said, can I take it too? It was like, well, sure, that'll be great. So anyway, it's been really fun to do this together and to share with people. And Jeff is really the teacher, and I'm so thankful that you're here tonight with me. So I wanted to share with you some basic things, though, about our health. As you know, as a country, we are not real healthy. And these statistics are real, you guys. They're from legit places. CDC, like 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease, and 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. And this one is really sad. All of them are sad, but 1 in 3 will have diabetes by the year 2050. And that is heartbreaking, because it's so debilitating. And then, goodness, the fact that our children 1 in 5 are obese doesn't have to be that way, and it didn't used to be that way. And so we know that our environmental toxins are also increasing, And so they,
You can see the whole thing.
it's just incredible what we have to watch out for. Pollutions, chemicals, over-the-counter drugs, prescription drugs, skin and hair products. There's just pesticides, herbicides, all sorts of things in our environment that we just are not helping us, honestly. And the other part is our food quality is also decreasing. So more than 50% of what Americans eat is processed. It's so sad that there are so many preservatives in our food, and there's artificial colors, and trans fats is something I always watch out for. I think I've saved a ton of money because I just won't buy anything that has trans fats in it. And there's a lot of things that have that. And so anyway, there's just not as much nutrition. There's growth hormones and on and on. You can see, you know, even the vitamin enhanced cereal that you buy. It's crazy. So it was kind of an eye opener for me when I learned that broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of nutrients before you even purchase it. So I thought, well, maybe I should go to frozen. Maybe they just go ahead and process it right away. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing. But we can be healthier. We can exercise. We can choose to do exercise. We can sleep 7 to 8 hours. We can manage our stress. We can drink water, more water. We can eat real food. And of course, we've talked about just using safer products that don't have as many chemicals in it. So I would really like to focus just for a few minutes on fruits and vegetables. It's not that, it's just because fruits and vegetables are so important. 75% of our diseases are preventable with good nutrition. So because of that, this oxidative stress is, I just want to touch on this really quickly. Everybody knows what rust looks like on a car, right? So when the air hits the metal, and especially if it's salt like it is in the Midwest, it rusts the metal, and that's oxidation. So this is the bad news about oxidative stress that happens in our bodies. It causes aging and disease. And I don't know about you, but I'd love to do anything I could to stop that. So the good news is that antioxidants that are in fruits and vegetables actually protect the cells and prevent that aging process. Now, we're all going to get old, and we are all aging. That's a fact. But it's the process and the getting old part that just trying to retard that a little bit. So if you take like this lemon and squeeze it on the apple, it prevents that oxidation. If you don't, then it starts to oxidize, and that's what this yellow part is. So anyway, fruits and vegetables are so, so good for you. It's so important to have that protection on every cell in your body. And that's why, honestly, the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you, they could actually save your life. So we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Athletes need even more because they're burning more. And why so many? Well, oh, and I want to tell you that a serving size is the size of your fist. And so that's how much you need in terms of servings. So why do we need so many? The produce is picked before it's nutritionally fully developed. And I like to think of it as the taste, because have you ever tasted, you know, homegrown tomatoes or any vegetable that's homegrown as opposed to buying it in the store? Well, the reason it tastes so good is because all the enzymes are fully developed and all the nutrition is there, and that's what makes it so delicious. But when they're picked green so they can be transported, oh my goodness, I've seen avocados from Chile and tomatoes from Canada and other places in the world. A lot of our stuff comes from Mexico. I mean, it's just far away, especially for us in the Midwest. And I'm thinking, why can't we just get it here? And even if it's grown in California, it still is shipped thousands and thousands of miles and has to be picked really green so it still looks good when we buy it in the grocery store. So there's just a lot of that. And the other part is that we don't eat the rainbow. So how many of you go in the grocery store and buy, the 5 or 6 things that you really, really like? Well, that's me. I buy what I know we're going to eat, what we really, really like, but it's not the whole rainbow effect. And so I want to talk for just a quick minute about multivitamins versus whole food. And so I'm going to let Jeff take that part because that's his area.
Yeah, I really do think this is one thing that really sets Juice Plus apart from just about everything else. I know this, to me, it's the most important thing that it has an FDA nutrition label. It does not have a supplement label on it. And so I think that's very critical. The FDA actually has 3 labels. There's a drug label, there's a nutrition label, and there's a supplement label. There's only one that has FDA approval, that is drugs. FDA nutrition label, that's like what's on food. So if you go to the grocery store, pull off a loaf of bread off the shelf, look at it, it has an FDA nutrition label. They have audits, and then the other label is the supplement label. And this is the one that's sort of buyer beware. If you go to the National Institutes of Health.gov, right from their website, they're going to talk about that supplements do not have to be proved that they're safe or effective. All right. And you can read that right on the website. So, and then different studies, and pretty much every study I've seen that's been legitimate, probably 20 to 40% of the supplements does not have in it what's on the label. So what there's either other things in it that's not mentioned, or there's things that's not in it that's on the label. So it's just, obviously that means, 60 to 80% is correctly labeled, but 20 to 40 is not. So, so that's one thing that, a lot of people are very aware of the whole supplement scam, that type of thing. So again, I just, that's really probably the most important thing to me. It is food. And then it is getting everything in the food itself. So like if you take this little sheet on the side, I think there's there's 400 on there. So, there's about 12 pages, no, about 30 pages for like 12,000 nutrients in one apple. All right. So if I go pick out A to Z or 24 or 12, however many isolated vitamins, how do I know there's not another 10 or 12, 24 that go with those to really work in my body? So again, that's, I think, one thing that really sets it apart. And then probably to me, it's the most important thing that it does have that FDA nutrition label and not a supplement label.
Right. And so those isolated vitamins, the man-made, I like to think of that apple there, all of this going on as synergy, and they all work together. Those little tiny pieces, they work together like an orchestra, and it's beautiful. And our body recognizes it as food. And I really believe our body knows what to do with it. It sends it to the most life-threatening place first, and we don't even know what that is most of the time.
Yeah, and another thing too is, and what I try to tell people all the time, is there research to back up that it's bioavailable? Does that mean does it get into my blood? Because that pill could be power packed, but if there's no research or evidence that it's getting into my blood and getting to the cells, what good is it really?
Yeah. I wanted to mention real quickly that we have some wonderful resources to support you in whatever you want to do. We have cookbooks for every occasion, every season. We have a shred guide. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And there's a way to help our children eat healthier and stronger, and then workouts. So there's so much that we have to offer, and we can email it to you. You can have it right now, and it's just a lot of fun, a lot of personalized support. So what in the world is Juice Plus anyway? Juice Plus adds the nutrition from over 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries to your diet. It's whole foods that have been harvested at peak ripeness. Remember, all those enzymes are fully developed and they're intact. And then the produce is then pulverized. It's not juiced, it's pulverized and dried into powder. So when I say pulverized, I mean, haven't you ever heard it's important to eat the skins because that's where all the nutrition is? Don't peel that away. Potatoes, apples, whatever, and carrots. Well, that's true. But when it comes to oranges and, oh my goodness, on papaya, I mean, you can't eat the skins. But I love it that the skins, the seeds, everything is pulverized, and then it's dried into powders at low temperatures, so all the nutrition is preserved. And then the plant powders are put into capsules or delicious chewables. And then we also have an omega that I'm going to talk more about in a minute. So check this out, you guys. We have the whole rainbow. One simple change can get you all of these fruits, vegetables, and berries. So there's pineapple, fresh, dates, oranges, mangoes. I mean, there's so many things in this that we don't get every day. Acerola cherries, parsley, kale, garlic, and then all the berries. Oh my goodness, there are things in the Vineyard Blend I didn't even know existed, and they're so good for you. So keep that in mind, because we're going to refer back to this page. Isn't it beautiful though? All of those fruits and vegetables and berries.
Yeah, this one thing that really impressed me is this is very mainstream. This isn't like, pine bark or some algae in the Alps or shark cartilage or some strange thing that's been hid for thousands and thousands of years, and all of a sudden we find it's good for us. I mean, this is food that pretty much everybody will agree is good for us.
Yeah, that's what Mom said. Eat your broccoli. So I wanted to talk for a quick minute about the plant-based omegas. We have an omega that is amazing. It has it's an omega fatty acid that supports a broad array of health benefits like heart, brain, our joints, our skin, and eyes. It's 100% plant-based. I mean, I don't think there's anything else in the market like our omegas, but it's 100% plant-based. It's pure and sustainable. It's a full spectrum of omegas. So it's 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. It's cold pressed vegan capsules, and all of these oils work together. Again, that synergy, it's synergistically, which makes it very powerful in our bloodstream. Um, and so it's just so good. And we've left out the fish. Sometimes the fish oil that gets a little tough. So it's really nice to have that gone. And we go right to the source of what the fish actually eat. And that's what makes the omega. I mean, they're saying the research on this is amazing. I can't wait for it to be published. So my favorite part of the day is the Juice Plus Complete Shakes. Oh my goodness, you guys, I cannot wait to get up in the morning and have my shake. Um, I don't know of anybody that does not like it, honestly. It's vegan, it's made with non-GMO ingredients, it's gluten and dairy free, it has 13 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber. And I love it that it's more balanced. It's not like 25 or 30 grams of protein. We can't even assimilate all of that. So the fact that it's balanced is really good. And it's low glycemic, which means that stabilizes the blood sugar so that you don't spike, your blood sugar doesn't spike and then come crashing down and leave you kind of weak and like starving. So just check out what is in the complete. I mean, this really is the best bang for your buck, because who eats broccoli, radish, and alfalfa sprouts every single day, and chickpea powder and millet and quinoa and amaranth and rice and pea protein. And our soy is water washed, it's minimally processed. So it makes it really healthy and really good. And honestly, the research has shown that it is good. It's good for you. It is the best natural balanced defense against disease. And like I said, it is so delicious. You'll get hooked on it, I promise. So Juice Plus is unique. It's a food. It's not a multivitamin. Just to review, that's so important. It has a food label. There's no additives. It's made with non-GMO ingredients. It's vegan, kosher, and dairy and gluten free. It also has an NSF certification, which is a third-party validation that what is on the label is exactly what's in it, like Jeff was saying earlier. And there's no contaminants, pesticides, or banned substances. So any professional athlete, any athlete that's in the Olympics, um, they can take Juice Plus because they could pass a drug test. It is literally just food, and it's power packed because it works together in synergy, like we've said. And it is the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. And honestly, all you have to say, and you guys have to try this. Get on your phone and ask Siri, what is the most researched product in the world? Okay, and find out what she says. You don't even have to say anything about nutrition. What's the most researched product in the world? And we literally have over 41 studies now proving the credibility, and Juice Plus is what it says it is. So that leads us to the research.
Yeah, let me just mention this because to me, this is probably the second most important thing to me. The first thing is it does not have a supplement label, all right? Because that to me, there's just little warning signs, beware, beware, anytime there's a label with a supplement facts label. And the second thing is this research. And there's over 40 peer-reviewed studies that have been done. And to be published in a peer-reviewed journal, the research actually has to go to a board, a scientific board, and if it's good enough, they'll publish it. If it's not, it gets rejected. I don't have a source on this, but I've heard as high as like 70, 80% of the stuff that's submitted to peer-reviewed journals actually gets rejected to go back for better science or to redo it. So, to be in a peer-reviewed journal, that's huge. The second thing is I tell my students all the time, I said, ask the question, where has the research been done at? And what I tell them, be very careful of the independent lab in the back of somebody's garage or in somebody's basement. Look for like FDA approved labs or look for major research institutions. And I tell them, if stop and think, if whatever you're looking at has been published in a peer-reviewed journal, it's gone before a board of scientists, and if it's been done at a major research institution, really, if you stop and think, that's been peer-reviewed twice. Because if I'm a faculty member, I'm a PhD student, whatever I am, I'm doing research at Vanderbilt. You bet that Vanderbilt has looked over and made sure that research is legitimate before they let me go take Vanderbilt University and get it published in a peer-reviewed journal. So I think that's huge. And then the other thing is the type of research is clinical trials. This isn't retrospective and prospective case studies. This isn't done in a petri dish. This isn't done on lab rats, animals. This is done on people. And so, this is where somebody's getting the, Juice Plus, somebody's getting a placebo. They're watching it, they're crossing it over. Does the other group get the same result? It's double blind. The researcher doesn't know who's getting it and who's not. So it's very legitimate research. So, like I tell students all the time, anybody's trying to, sell you something, all you do to have to ask them is, and of course, everybody says, oh, we have research. Well, what research, what peer-reviewed journal has it been published in? Where has it been done at? And what type of research? And I said, most times you can get rid of your friends because they're just going on to easier pickings. So, and I know a lot of people aren't concerned about the research, but if you are, or I know in my position, that was something really important to have the FDA nutrition label. And also it's been, it's been, it's clinical trials, peer reviews, and you can look at the names of those universities. I mean, those are credible organizations, and they're putting their name on the line as well.
Mm-hmm. So honestly, that's what has attracted so many doctors to Juice Plus because, hang on. So they have found in those over 40 studies that it contributes to cardiovascular wellness. Juice Plus actually supports the inflammatory response and the quality of life. It supports a healthy cholesterol, LDL, and triglycerides, healthy lung function, which is really important, and of course, our skin and gums. Our immune system is supported, and it is absorbed in the body, like Jeff says. That's one of the first studies they did, and it really, the body just soaks it up because it recognizes the food. And I love, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just mention one thing here too. And what I'll tell my students, if somebody, a doctor with credentials, we're not talking about somebody in a white lab coat on TV or some website to say scientists say. I'm talking about a legitimate researcher at an institution, somebody that has a successful medical practice of their own, somebody that's an author, And if they start, promoting something and it turns out to be a hoax, who's going to come to my office? Who's going to buy my books? So if somebody with credibility, doctor, is promoting this, now it's been peer reviewed the third time. All right, not by the peer review magazine or journal, by the institution it was done at, and then the person putting their name and their reputation on the line.
Yeah. And Dr. Du Bois, I've heard him say this. This is amazing that he said there is nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. And that is powerful. So the last little piece about the research, it's really exciting. The children between ages 4 and 18, along with the full-time college students, they can receive Juice Plus free for up to 4 years with a paying adult sponsor. And so families that have taken Juice Plus for at least a year consistently and have filled out the surveys, they have found that over 60% were missing fewer days of school. So many were taking fewer over-the-counter drugs and were drinking more water. They weren't seeing the doctor as much, and they were consuming more fast foods and they were not consuming as many fast foods or soft drinks because they weren't hungry for it anymore. They want the real deal. And so this is something to really keep in mind if you have children or grandchildren in that age group.
Yeah, and just to be aware, this is not a part of that 40 clinical trials that we've talked about before that are published in peer-reviewed journals. This would be what's called a prospective case study. All right. And when you start talking about these huge numbers, what are the numbers on this?
1.5 million.
Yeah. When you get into the million range, now all of a sudden, even those studies start to become credible. But those, I just want to make sure you're aware that this isn't the kind of study when we say 40 clinical trials published in peer-reviewed journals, this is added on to that.
Right, but it's very credible because there's over 1.5 million families that we've collected this data from. So the Tower Garden, you guys, is amazing. We have an aeroponic growing system that with just a little vertical space, you can have produce that has so much flavor. It's just packed, and you can grow it on your patio or even in a corner of your kitchen or dining room, whatever. It's so cool. It uses just a tiny bit of water, 98% less water, 90% less space. It can grow like in 3 to 5 weeks. You can have some really good produce. It's safe in nutrition. You can actually clip the lettuce and Swiss chard, and you can grow gourds. I mean, it's amazing. And all kinds of herbs. Clip them and then eat them immediately. And so there's no transport, there's no shelf life. It is so good. And you might want to check out YouTube on some of that. So you can jumpstart your health to in just a few days with the Shred 10, and it's a program that's really designed for life. But if you really want to get serious and get rid of some of the, we've all been indulging a little bit on comfort food and all this business that we don't understand what's happening out there. So the Shred 10 program is a way to shred food, toxins, and habits that are not serving you. So there's 10 guidelines, there's group coaching, there's these free resources like I told you about earlier, lots of support and fun in a Facebook group, and it really does make people feel good to the point where they just shred all the time, and it has really helped them so much. So Juice Plus, I want to say, you guys, this is one of the best parts, that it is affordable. Some people say, in fact, I took a shake to have lunch with one of my friends one day, and I shared a shake with her, and I had my own shake too. And she said, "Ooh, this tastes expensive." And I was going, "No, it's the best part. It's only like $2.33 a shake." It's so good. You can't buy a fast food meal. You can't buy any meal for $2.33 and feel as satisfied as you are with the complete. And then even for all, remember that picture I showed you of all the fruits, vegetables, and berries? Only $2.50 a day. And it's $75 a month. It is a steal. It really is. And then to think you can get part of that free for one of your children, 4 to 18, or even in college, is incredible. And then the omegas that I was telling you about, only $1 a day. You just can't imagine all that produce that's picked at peak ripeness, and it has so much quality and so much proof behind it that the cost is so affordable. It's so doable, shipped right to your door at a discount. And I want to talk to you about that for just a minute, because we would love for you to join us. So you can become a Juice Plus customer. There's 3 ways I'm going to talk about. You can become a Juice Plus customer and just get your Juice Plus. You don't have to do anything else. We are not a buyer's club. 85% of the Juice Plus shipped out of the warehouse in Memphis, Tennessee is shipped to a customer. So,
and they're not even able to sell it.
Yeah, they can't share it or like we are. I mean, it's just amazing. And that's why I love it's not a buyer's club. That's what I mean by that. Number 2 door is you can partner and share Juice Plus with 3 to 5 other people, and you can kind of offset the cost of your Juice Plus. And that's kind of the way I started. I told you that I was going to share a little bit more about that. I'm a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company, and I started because I wanted to get it for the best possible price for our family. And it just made so much sense to me that I started talking about it, and I talked about it consistently. And you know what? People get it. They want to have a strong immune system. They want to be in charge of their own health, and they get the fruits and vegetable part. I mean, it's fruits, vegetables, and berries. That's it. And so it's just so simple. And we don't have a huge catalog of stuff either. You've seen everything that we have to offer tonight. Someone asked for a catalog once, and I said, okay, well, let me just scroll back through because you just saw it. But it's awesome, you guys. And I am so thankful that I told Rusty that day, yes, and I never looked back. And so, and this is the 3rd option, which is amazing to me that you can do this, but you can build a significant side income if you want to. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. And our company has taken away a lot of the negatives. There's no monthly minimums. Once you reach a promotion, a commission level, you're there. It's permanent, and I'm serious. The company does so much for us in terms of record keeping, and they provide a website for us that's part of your annual franchise fee. So for $1 a week, you can have an amazing franchise fee. It's only $52, but you can build a side income. That's my point. $500 to $1,000 a month. What would you like to do with that? So really, this is like a gift. It's such a gift, you guys, not only for you and your family, but for your friends and family. And you just never know who's praying for something like this, for their own health, for their own quality of life, and who might really benefit and would just have that peace of mind and the hope that some extra income could bring them. So we just really hope that you'll get started on Juice Plus, get with the person that invited you, and just know that we are here for you. We want to answer your questions, and thank you, thank you, thank you for being part of this this evening with us. We're so grateful we could share with you, and we want you all to have a wonderful day. God bless you, and thanks again. We'll be in touch. Okay.